Welcome. Oh. Mhm. It's an
Okay.
honor to it's
Morning.
an honor to officially meet you two over Zoom.
I know
Yeah, yeah.
it's a little bit strange for us because normally we're used to the two-way interaction, but this is cool. And can you hear us okay? Just get some housekeeping done.
Loud and clear.
Great.
Cool.
Thank you. So, how have you been today? How's your Saturday been so far?
Mm, Slow and loud.
Loud?
But that's because of my dog.
Uh,
Yeah, much the same. He's been interfering with our little session. We've just been rehearsing a little bit today. Yeah. So, welcome, Francesca Damkar, to our amateur podcast called Headfirst. Really great to
Well,
have you, and thank you for your time today and for sharing
thank you for having me on.
your joy with us. So, where should we start? Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you came across what we do and put it all together? Obviously, I asked you about the commission, and you did that wonderful bit of artwork for us. And yeah, super pleased with the results. So it's so special and really appreciate the hard work you put into that. Um, so yeah, just wanted to know a little bit about your journey as an artist and how you began, what your influences are.
Mhm. Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about it. So I've been interested in art from the time when I was very little. Would doodle all over the place on school papers, in drawing books, and occasionally on my parents' walls. Not that they were too pleased with that, but they eventually but they did accept the fact that I was meant to be an artist. So
That's so cool.
yeah. Um and I doodled on and off when I was a kid through high school. But I didn't really get serious about becoming an artist until I entered high school. Um From there, I gradually learned to improve my skills over the years. And then once I graduated high school, I attended two colleges. One was to get my general education, and then I transferred over into an actual art school, the Academy of Art University in San Francisco, where I graduated with a bachelor's in fine arts.
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That's
my
beautiful. And did you sort of shape your career from there? Did you sort of know your style already, or were you sort of developing it while you were doing that course? And
I was developing my style over the years. I didn't initially cater to the retro style until I supposed I was probably at one point in college. That was when I was in college attending art school. I actually came across one of my still to this day influences in the mid-century art style. Um, the artist's name is well, his name he goes by Shag, um,
Mhm.
aka, but his real name is Josh Agel, I believe that's his surname. But he was very of strong influence on how I developed my style because he
Mhm.
dives into the mid-century art style with what he does.
Right. That's great. I'll have to look him up. I've never heard of him actually. So I was thinking of some of the retro artists that I know, Mary White or and that sort of Rockwell phase, and it's that sort of I'm not too familiar with, but yeah.
I'm
Um,
I have occasionally looked to Norman Rockwell as
Rockwell,
well.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, it's beautiful, and all your work is just so vibrant and joyful, and it really kind of it is so
Colourful. Yeah,
yeah,
colourful.
it's super positive, and obviously we're going to look forward to promoting that too. So thanks for collaborating with us.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I think we've even sold some stuff, haven't we? I think.
Yeah, I think we've done
Yeah, yeah.
a bit of so as you know, we have to do a lot of promotion around this
Oh
to
yes.
get a few sold. So do you sell anywhere else as well, or are you mainly kind of doing the Instagram and LinkedIn. I think I've seen you on there. Do
Well,
you do
I do have a
workshops where
big,
you live, and
oh, I'm sorry.
do you do workshops and sort of do you sell in centres or shops around where you live, or is it primarily your independent freelance work you focus on?
Well, I do sell around where I live. In fact, in downtown, there's actually a mercantile halls dedicated to artisans where they can sell their crafts to the general public.
Oh,
Hmm.
cool.
But I also have my own online shops um where I sell my designs onto products.
Right,
Um,
yes.
yeah.
Of course, because you do postcards and greetings cards and how do you see your work developing? Have you got any other ideas around where you wish to progress with your brand?
Mm. Well, the thing with me is that I never want to say that I've officially found my style because styles do tend to change over
Mm.
time, although it can remain constant in some ways. So I think right now I am trying to I'm looking up various other art styles from the past to see what new directions I can take my art style, such as I've been very interested in the Art Deco style of the 1920s and 30s as of late.
Yeah.
So I want to see how, you know, they took their style, how artists took that style with all the geometrical shapes and curves and just the real boldness of the characters and shapes.
Yeah, it's really eye-catching. And again,
Hmm.
it's just so unique,
Hmm.
I've not seen as many artists do this kind of work, especially with your style, I'd say with it is yeah, it's very, very unique. Um, so what sort of challenges do you come across with, being an artist where you are and sort of comparing your work to sort of the other people that are doing similar vibe?
Well, I think the biggest one that I think any artist can is undergoing or trying to deal with now is the use of AI.
Right,
That's
yeah.
yeah, it's a challenge that I don't think any artist wants to think about, but
Mhm.
I feel the need to persevere because there's only so much AI can produce before it all becomes the same after a while. Whereas individual artists, no matter what mediums they use, will always produce something unique and just something that stands out that tells people, how they see the world and what kind of colors and lighting and shadow that they see
Yeah,
affecting every bit of the world.
yes. And again, it's worrying, isn't it, when something can be so easily replicated. But as you say, if it's something that's absolutely unique, you've got your style, you've got your stamp on it, then that's a hard thing to reproduce. So yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. I think it's so good to be able to stand out amongst all the AI generated work.
Yes.
So,
And I think also, producing the work that we create, it's not always easy, and I'm never going to claim it's an easy process, but the struggle and the suffering that artists go through, it really shows and it helps us to. Once heard a phrase where, suffering, can lead to perseverance, and perseverance leads to character, and character leads to hope.
yeah,
And I'm a
absolutely.
firm believer in that.
Yeah, I think we find that in with music as well. You know, the whole struggle of not having loads of equipment, especially recording equipment. We've definitely had to find our own kind of, that's kind of defined our sound in a kind of way.
Hmm.
Because we haven't got loads of money for technology. So we've had to find other ways of trying to reproduce how we want to sound. Um, so I think that's kind of definitely kind of
Mm,
formed our army. I mean, I don't even record music on a computer. I've got like a box, and now I can only record like 8 tracks, which kind of means I can't, you know. just do what I want. Really, I have to be kind of concise, but that really helps define our kind of sound. I suppose that's the same. Could be the same with in any kind of art, really.
I
Yeah, it's
agree.
like,
I agree.
we just haven't had the resources to sort of get some techie in who can actually do it all for us short space of time. So yeah, we've kind of struggled, I guess, with me kind of doing what I can on my little software and on my ancient computers. But yeah, it kind of lends to, I think, the perseverance, as you say, it's so important and very key for artists just to keep going with whatever they have and utilize things to the best of their ability. Otherwise, you would just sort of throw the towel in, wouldn't you? And it's important to just draw on your what you can do. So yeah, that's really encouraging to hear. In terms of AI as well, I was thinking about some of these copyrighted things, the images that you see all over the internet, obviously. How do you see the sort of future of that, and again with music, I feel it's a similar vibe, we just we know it's easily replicable, so
There's just no regulations, is there? Kind of for any of it at the moment.
Yeah,
well,
it's
apparently, so I heard, yeah, that there is now an app that you can have that will basically take the intonation in your voice, the way you sound, the tone of your voice, and basically replicate a whole song. So you could just create a song, uh, make it sound very real. Like they could just take my voice, make it sound like Rubina, and put it out there, and basically make a zillion bucks because it's just computer
Mm.
generated, but it's not me doing it. But somehow they'll get all their bots and clicks to,
yeah.
again,
Thankfully, though, I
it's
think. Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry, no,
Um,
I was just going to finish off to saying, yeah, that I've heard a million voices that are very similar. So I'm wondering, is that an AI generated computer simulation? So
well,
yeah,
I feel.
it's a strange
Yeah,
world.
it's nuts. Although I do feel that thankfully there are people are rising up and saying, no, we do not want this because
Mhm.
there are actual consequences that are going to occur if you go forward with this. I mean, the impersonation of someone's voice, well, that could that could lead someone to getting a jail sentence
Yeah.
or I actually recently the um the head of Studio Ghibli, Hayao Miyazaki, he expressed so recently there was an AI generator um that put out Studio Ghibli images, and
Right.
he came right out and expressed his disgust with it,
Well,
with millions of his fans
if he's
now
saying
like
it, yeah.
yeah, not only supporting him but also saying, yeah, we don't want this.
Mm, absolutely.
Mm.
Need to rise up in numbers here,
I think it'll go the same as hopefully it'll go the same as when back in the 80s when music people used to sample music and there wasn't any regulations and um, there's a classic one by a band, can't remember what they're called. They did a Ride on Time and they just
Mhm.
sampled this singer's voice and it's all over the song. And she
Yeah.
just complained and complained, and there was nothing they could do about it because it wasn't regulated then. But I think that kind of led to a bit of a kind of rebellion in saying, you just can't nick my stuff and use it and claim it's yours and not give me any credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it will be, problems with the internet. That was before the internet. It's just, you can nick someone's idea now and put it around the world within 10 seconds. That's the problem, I think. The actual kind of, uh, you know, how quick you can enforce it before it's kind of, out there and used numerous
Stolen.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, in essence, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, I suppose if you just keep on generating new music, you just got to stay one step ahead, haven't you? Uh, and obviously, yeah, it is. It's a strange world. I think if you're an artist that sort of does things without actually being out there, knowing what's going on, But these days, artists do obviously try and keep an eye out so that
Mm.
you know when being ripped off or whatever. But it's yeah, it's you shouldn't have to do that, right?
No.
Dogs are yelping a little, wants attention. So yeah, what else? I had a few other questions I wanted to ask actually. And what have been the highlights of your journey as an artist? And
Hmm.
have you kept going in terms of the mental aspect of keeping going? And what's your modus operandi as an artist? Do you have a sort of schedule that you keep to and you make sure that you keep on top? Because obviously you're generating quite a lot of work, and I'm so impressed with artists who can actually keep doing that. Because obviously we're doing it in
Yeah,
our
it's that
own
kind of
snail's pace.
discipline thing, isn't it? How
Yeah.
to keep the motivation and the discipline going.
Hmm.
What is your
Yes.
motivational? Yeah.
Well, for me, I just look at being an artist, it is what I do, as my occupation. So I kind of look at it as a responsibility, if you will. Just say, okay, I have to do my part in the art community, not with just what's going on with AI and everything, but also just because, I mean, I have to support myself and you know, I have to make money and create art so that not only people can enjoy and something that can bring a little color into their days, but also something that I can use to, take care of my own needs. So, but it's not easy. I mean, there are times when I do get seriously burned out, just with all the work I do, or I do have that tendency to look at others and say, and go down the rabbit hole of comparing my work to others, um, more than I care to
Yeah,
uh,
we do that.
admit. Yeah, but but eventually, but sooner or later, I actually end up feeling, getting over it and feeling better and just pushing on forward with all the stuff I've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I would say the highlights of my work are, well, okay, I published a total of 4 books thus far. So that's
Amazing.
something I'm pretty happy about. And just being able to you know, meet clients and like you guys, and
Hmm.
just getting the chance to use my skills wherever I'm asked to, or if I see an opportunity to chime in with my art, whether it be a collaboration, a commission, uh, let's see, poster designs, um, or books, or just anything really. I think I just really get excited.
Yeah. What do you enjoy doing best? What's your favorite
Hmm.
kind of like project to work on?
Hmm. I would say my top 3 types of projects to work on are random, crossovers with copyrighted characters. It's just fun just to kind of explore how, characters like, uh, Felix the Cat meets the Pink Panther or something like that. Um,
Sounds
let's
fun.
see here. My own characters, many of which I have plans for them, which I will not reveal here. But
Sure
Mm.
thing.
And oh, patterns are a fun, thing to work on as well. I love making patterns
And
for to put as to feature as product designs for, specific products such as tote bags or
yeah.
shirts or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah, that really shines through. And in terms of sort of going back to what we were saying earlier about all the kind of uniqueness of what you're doing, and all the characters, I've always wondered where do you get, like, if you always had that imagination, by thinking about the stories that go around the characters in your cartoons and your art. Does that come really supernaturally, or do you have to sort of put a lot of thinking time into it?
It depends. Sometimes I'll just, I don't know, sometimes I'll just be watching, a show or something, and I'll ask a question about the character, like, what if this character didn't perform this action this way, but instead do it a different way? And from there, my imagination can spark into something grander. Like, well, what if there were characters that, you know, a collective group of characters that did that sort of action?
Hmm.
Like, go out, um, I don't know, go out saving people's lives, but unique in, they're unique in doing that.
Yeah.
And other times it's just sometimes I'll just it'll um come up in random conversations I have with people.
Yeah.
But
Standing at a bus stop, that kind of thing.
yeah.
I often think of stories in my head
Do you always have
about
like
this
a do
story.
you always have like a pad and a pencil with you wherever you go?
Same.
Yeah, yeah. Just when the, you never know when the moment's going to sort of take you. An idea will come into your head.
And it's exactly. And actually that's how so I've gotten into the habit since last year in the summertime, I believe, of drawing random doodles and showing them through my stories on Instagram and Facebook. Not just to
Mhm.
kind of show what else I can do with my art skills, but also just to show, if I've came up with something random that,
Mhm.
I might do something with, um, I can show it and say, get an idea of what people think of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, good idea.
Do you have a favorite platform? I mean, do you think Instagram's actually the most effective platform to put your work on? Or for anyone,
I would
really?
I would say Instagram, in spite of all the obstacles that come with it, is the most successful one because that's where I get the most traction out
Hmm.
of all the platforms I'm on. Facebook might be considered my second one, but Instagram is compared to Facebook more so.
Sure. Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, obviously, it's so populated and just very easily grows, doesn't it? With the volume and obviously attracting
Hmm.
type of people that obviously want to purchase your work. So, I mean, how do you find all this algorithm stuff as well now? Because, I mean, I've just got a sea of adverts these days, so it's very hard to know where if your work's going to be seen by the eyes that you want, to connect
Yeah,
to your works.
the algorithm and I are rivals, I suppose you could say. Not, I've seen Instagram from the time when I first joined, which was in 2017. It was
Mhm.
quite a different world back then
Mm.
because when
Yeah,
I first posted my art, it would get seen practically everywhere. But then over, I want to say either 2018 or 2019, that's when the algorithm kind of took over. It made it harder for my work to be seen. But
sure. Yeah.
honestly, I think for me, it's um I've kind of have had to learn to look up various tricks and
Yes.
tips
Yeah.
that have been said by experienced Instagram users or even just across the internet, just articles, helpful articles giving tips on what time to post, what
Mhm.
to post, and here's what you can write down for your caption to make it interesting, and anything that I think can help my art get across the board, I'll take it.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
made a difference to the way you've had the traffic, would you say then?
It is a little bit of more work
Yeah.
than than the first time I joined Instagram, but yeah, essentially.
That's cool. Yeah, as you say, any little helps. And it's just finding your the routine, isn't it? It's just being able to kind of keep on top of it. And if it's
Hmm.
working, then it's just sticking to that formula, isn't it? As well. I mean, I just keep everything simple, really, and try to. Otherwise, I get overwhelmed myself
Mm.
quite easily.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, as they
So,
say, less is more, and I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's the best approach.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, was there anything else you wanted to?
Um, so would you sort of say most of your kind of product is kind of via the internet or just physically in your area kind of thing, geographically, or is it a bit just a mixture of both?
Hmm. And I would like to think both personally, although I do think it's a little bit more. I think people recognize more of my work online than they do in real life. But that's because where I live, it's kind of it's a small town, so
Mm.
it's not always easy to get the word across.
So have you got
But
regular
then,
kind of regular customers in the town? Really?
mm, occasionally.
Mhm.
Obviously, you've got quite a global reach, and are you finding there's more traction at all abroad? I mean, in places such as China or as far-reaching as, Australia and places.
I think so.
Have you done
I've
all the sort of
met very
analytical stuff?
I think to I think yeah, in analyzing where my outrage goes, I would definitely say it's on a global basis. And I really do like that just
Hmm.
because I do love reaching out to my local neighbor, of course, but reaching out across the world and making even just the smallest of differences in somebody's life through something cheerful or a funny
Mm.
story or what have you, that anything is the whole world to me.
Yeah, that's the best feeling.
Mhm.
And again, it's just such an honor, isn't it, to be able to share your talents far and wide. And it
Mm.
shouldn't just be in this municipality kind of, yeah, I mean, it's hard enough just doing something locally, isn't it? For us, obviously, it's been little gigs, and um,
Yeah.
we've had all sorts of experiences
Sort
now
of,
with,
yeah, it's just the momentum thing, keeping the momentum going. It
yeah,
can be difficult this day and age, any art form, there's just, anybody can make music now. Anybody who's not a musician can make music now. That's the thing that
yeah. I
we
wonder
kind
how
of
different
find.
the art is to the music in terms of, the challenges we face, sort of
Hmm.
having to be a kind of a niche, or, not
Hmm.
knowing where you're going to be popular because of whatever reason, and
Yeah. And
people are hungry for so many different types of things, aren't they?
it's
So
just the, the saturation of it.
yeah.
So many.
Whereas, I mean, with art, it's maybe sort of a bit more accessible,
Mm.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, that
yeah,
is a good question. I would say that both markets, I think, are saturated, obviously, and while I don't see anything wrong with aspiring artists or musicians wanting to come in and have their chance to shine with their voices if they have something to say, at the same time, it is important to look out for the ones who are going to have the energy and the gusto to make it through when the hardest of obstacles come their way.
so true.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well said. And a lot of people need to have that strength, and especially as it is so sort of dog eat dog, I guess. And again, with the internet, the AI, everything you're up against, you may just feel like you're just in a tiny little speck in the ocean of creativity. So,
Yeah, it's
you
that
know,
self belief, and that
yeah,
keeping that self
just
belief
got to keep
going.
on burning your candle, for want of a better term.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to round off the conversation by asking you, what three words would you say to anyone watching or hearing this podcast
Hmm.
to give them some encouragement and hope?
Three words. I could go for a whole speech if you want, but no, I'll keep it brief.
Sure,
Um,
yeah, no, whatever, just far away. But three
I
words
would
that stand out, I don't know, could be anything.
I would say, hmm, I would say keep the inner fire going.
Lovely.
Yeah, look to sources that are higher than you because there are sources that are higher than you and they'll be able to help you guide your way. It's not always a the world is not always a friendly place, but there are sources of light to be shown in the darkness. And I would say go and seek those lights out so that you can make the world a little brighter, one day at a time.
Agreed.
Wise
Absolutely.
words. Yeah.
That's super important because I think quite often we can just put out that fire that keeps on being dimmed by others, well, insensitivities or whatever else, you know. It's
Mhm.
yeah, it's tough. Um, but again, it's surrounding yourself with the right people, isn't it, as well, who can lift you up,
Mhm.
keep going. That support, it's really crucial. Who have been your main kind of the support network around you? Would you? I know you've got quite a large family, Francesca.
Yes, they are supportive of me, especially my dog. No, I'm kidding.
Wonderful. Oh,
Do you come from like an artistic family or um
Uh, my parents, not so much so, although my grandmother, well, actually both of my grandmothers, but more my paternal grandmother was had a very strong artistic hand. She would during World War II, she painted on tile blocks
yeah,
and she sewed together. She actually made pillowcases and I think the occasional quilt from time to time.
lovely.
And I actually fall in her tracks a little bit. I quilt and make pillowcases myself.
oh wow,
Really? Oh, that's
awesome.
Uh-huh.
incredible.
Mhm.
I can also imagine your artwork on those items as well.
Yeah,
Have you done that?
Yeah.
Have you done that kind of work? You know, on just domestic kind of wares and
I
household.
would put in my own work on those thing on pillowcases and quilts. I would like to, but I haven't gotten to that yet.
right.
Yeah. Well, the world is your oyster. Oh, thank you so much. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss with us today? And you know, where can you see yourself in the next sort of year and the upcoming year? Have you got your schedules for spring, summer, autumn already?
Well, right now, I guess I can talk a little bit with what I've got in the works. So in the series I'm working on with another client, the Dreamcatcher Center series, I'll be working on a third book with my client. A date to be determined on when that's published.
Mhm.
So there'll be that. And I'm thinking about writing a and illustrating a sequel to my very first children's book, um, which is called, and here's where I'm going to do some product placement. uh,
Really?
Retro Rhythms.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a children's book done in the mid-century style, and it's all about musical instruments from around the world.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow. That sounds
Awesome.
brilliant. Look forward to seeing that
Yeah.
and good luck.
Yes, and if you like, once I'm done, I can shoot the when it's on Amazon and everything, I can shoot you guys the link to it if you're interested.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll be happy to promote that. So nice. And I've seen the odd thing on Instagram as well. You're kind of getting a lot more involved with the children's aspects. And, you know, these are all good causes we need to kind of highlight now, right? With the mental health issues, children's autism. I mean, it's just so super. Yeah, it's just lovely to see when art can
Yeah.
convey something that's yeah, really sort of important. Um,
Children need all the support that they can get, whether it be to go for their dreams or just check or just invite their curiosity as to what kind of um, mu music music people engage in all over the world.
mhm. Yeah, involving all the cultures as well.
Hmm.
It's really crucial, yeah. Because, I mean, I know for my grandson as well, I want him to have a real in-depth view of how there is just such a melting pot, in the world, and
Hmm.
it's not sort of stop at a little tiny section of
Yeah.
his learning journey. Yeah. So, we'll see what goes on with the curriculums in school here in England. But yes, I mean, what's going on over there? And so you're in California, right?
That's right.
Yeah, Hollister.
Hmm.
Um, we actually have a shop in our shopping mall here. Um, and
Was it Hollister?
Hollister, yeah, the brand. I haven't been
Yeah.
there much because I mean,
Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, there's a random fact about my town. They originally wanted to make shirts that were about catered to our town because of a significant historical event that took place here,
really,
which
Mhm.
actually, yeah, which actually inspired the 1950s Marlon Brando film, The Wild Ones, I
really.
believe.
Oh
Oh,
wow,
right.
okay,
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
but the Hollister brand told them that was a big no-no.
Mm.
Like the name had already been copyrighted, so
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
but nice claim to fame and a relevance to. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just I just love the fact that it's steeped in so much depth, and I love yeah, it's obviously with the Hollywood industry. I mean, it's all so different, but I definitely I'm much more of a retro girl. I love all my old black and white movies, and you know,
same.
a
From
bit
the
more.
time, yeah, from the time when I was a kid, so I was born in the 1980s, and I was exposed. Well, I was introduced to so much media that my parents grew up on, from I Love Lucy to Star Trek to Back to the Future to
Mm.
all to many incredible things that to this day still inspire me, such as one of my favorite shows by Hanna-Barbera of all time, because of the amazing art and backgrounds,
Mm,
the Jetsons.
yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And I can actually see that influence in your work, actually.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. Did you sort of feel? I mean, how do you actually? What software are you using? If you don't mind me asking, is that something you can reveal or?
Yeah, sure, I can talk about it. So what I do is by hand, I'll sketch it out on paper, and then I will scan it into my computer,
Mhm.
and I will color it, add effects, and everything else I put into my work through Adobe Illustrator.
Right.
And I take it into Photoshop to clean it up, to make it nice and sharp, and add all the um, last minute effects I want to put onto the art piece. Then I save it and I get it uploaded to Instagram and I schedule it, and there it is.
Yeah,
Mm.
awesome.
Mhm.
But I love Photoshop. It's oh, it's just a real joy to use. I've got a really old-fashioned version actually, but I do still use it. Um, Still to do Illustrator. Do you do a lot of animation at all, or?
I did one animation I that I published 3 years ago, I believe. And it's just a simple bouncing ball animation that I actually would like to dive further into more simple animations.
Mhm.
I
Actually, I just
don't
had a bit
know.
of a. I just had an idea about maybe doing some of our music
Yeah.
here
So I was
as
going to
well.
say, yeah, maybe put some animation towards one of our songs.
Well, I would like to. I would actually like to do that. I think it would be a fun challenge to undertake.
Yeah, for
Yeah. No,
sure.
that'd be great.
Look
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. We can just keep on firing ideas at each other and see where it takes us. We're in no rush really. Feel, as I've explained before, we're doing everything quite organically. So we appreciate your patience anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm open for any type of service. I mean, if you guys ever need any more commissions or any type of help needed to help promote your music, feel free to let me know. I'm just happy to be of help any way I can.
Thank you so
Yeah, no,
much.
thank you.
Thank
Yeah, we
you.
will.
And perhaps if you can just give us your platform names or the whatever you'd like to promote in terms of where your artwork is. I mean, I'll
Yes,
put the
absolutely.
links in anyway.
Yes, absolutely. So my Instagram platform name is FAD Artwork Page,
Mhm.
and my Facebook page, for those who might be on Facebook, is FAD, all capital letters, and then dash artwork with the A capitalized.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome. All right then. And what are your plans for the rest of this weekend? It's Mother's Day here tomorrow.
Aw.
So yeah, looking forward to a day of relaxation and rest here, I think.
Mm.
Being treated.
Bit more spring-like.
Well,
You doing anything with your family?
yes, tomorrow we're actually going to go to a concert in San Jose, I believe it is, in which there will be a symphony orchestra playing individual uh movie themes from random movies.
Oh
Oh,
wow,
wow.
that sounds incredible.
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
we love music and film and classic films over here. So any chance we have just to do something related to those things,
Sure.
we'll jump at the chance.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, sounds
beautiful.
great. Yeah.
Mm.
So I
Oh, and
don't
I
really
just
know.
wanted to say,
Yeah.
oh,
Sorry.
well, no, sorry. All I just wanted to say was, and since it's Mother's Day for over there for you guys, happy Mother's Day, Robina.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'll be missing my mum tomorrow. She's no longer with us. So yeah, it's just a bit of a sad, sort of bittersweet time really, but we're going to be honoring the day and um yeah, just kind of make the most of the weather as well.
Mm.
It's been abysmal. We've just had grey days every single, I mean, March was absolutely appalling
Yeah,
with weather,
Mm.
wasn't it? So
it
what
was.
about you, Andy? What are you doing with your mum?
Yeah, we're taking my mum. My mum's quite elderly and, there's kind of wheelchairs and stuff involved. So we're going to like her favourite eatery. It's like a
Aw.
nice independent Portuguese eatery, and she really likes it there. And she kind of blooms when she goes in there. She feels she likes it so much. She kind of like it's like a almost like a happy place for her. So
Yeah,
we're taking her there, and yeah, just, paying for it and everything. So yeah, they're really nice there. They kind of give us a special table, and they're really friendly, and it's not like a conveyor belt system like some restaurants have. They kind of you can participate in it, and they promote local kind of art and everything like that as well, which is great. Keeping it alive.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so that'll be my day tomorrow.
Mhm.
amazing. Well, I, for one, I'm hoping we'll both get to visit California one day. You never know. I've got family out in America and
Yeah.
Canada as well. So, yeah,
Oh,
it's been
wow.
a few years since we've had the privilege to visit. But
Yes, I would love to visit where you guys are at too. I've never been to Europe, but I'm making it a quest. I'm making it a future quest one day to do a pilgrimage over there.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, no, it's a must and always welcome. And obviously, let us know when you're in the hood.
Yes.
yeah,
Be happy
definitely.
to receive you. And um, I think we're coming up to our time
Yeah,
almost.
I
So,
think
would
it's
you like
done
to?
now.
Got any other questions?
No, no, I think that's it. Yeah, it's been great. Been great chatting to you.
We really appreciate your time, Francesca, and yeah, just keep up the great work and spreading the positive
Will
vibes.
do. Will do. And you too. Keep up the amazing musical pieces you guys have been putting out.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yes,
Yeah,
we'll keep you posted as well
yeah,
with our developments. So we'll see what you're up
Yay.
online, obviously. Take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the theatre and well, band music. Sounds incredible.
Yes, you guys take care too, and may you have a wonderful rest of your weekend and have happy days ahead. And I hope you have a lot of sunshine coming your way soon.
yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes. What's the weather doing over there then? Just quickly.
Well,
This
it's very typical here, but the weather goes back and forth. Past last Monday and Tuesday, it was in the 80s over here, so it was really
wow.
hot. But then randomly for the rest of the week, it was cold and cloudy.
Mm,
Yes. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Well, we had a whole month of that, so we're really done with it now.
Mm.
Please bring some 80s our way. I loved hearing about all your stories. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Francesca. And all the best to
Well,
you and see you
Yeah,
soon. We could do another one of these at some point, couldn't we?
yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, I would love for another chance to come and chat with you guys whenever your schedules open up for it, if you like.
Yeah, it'd be
yeah,
cool. Yeah, yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you. Take
yeah.
care.
Take care, Francesca.
Have a great day.
Take care.
See you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.
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 Mhm.